Good morning, guys. How's it going? So, little tip for the day on sighting in your bow. A lot of people will just take their target out, hang it up, walk back however far, start shooting at center of your bull, and you have a lot of left and right issues, so on and so forth. So, I'm going to give you a little tip to maybe help you out and simplify and break things down a little bit for you. Stay tuned. Okay, guys. So what we're going to end up doing here is we're going to make a T out of duct tape on our target here, and the horizontal portion of the T is going to be for our vertical sight in, and our vertical part of our T is going to be for our windage, or left and right. Okay, so the three things you're going to need to accomplish this is going to be a level, a Sharpie, and any kind of tape that you have available. Okay, it doesn't have to be this tape, it can be any tape that you want. Okay, stay tuned. Okay, so once you have your level and your Sharpie and your tape all together, the first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to mark a level line. Now, having your tape level is important on this, because if it's off at an angle, then if you're high or low, you're not going to get a good accurate read on that. So you want your tape to be level. So we're going to put the level up here like so, and we're just going to pop us a line across here. Nothing fancy. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing vertically. So we're going to get this here, and then we're going to pop us a line vertically like so. Okay, so now I've drawn a T on my bag here. So now is the easy part. Well, easy if you live in Oklahoma. It's always windy, and if it ain't windy, break out some tape or a trash bag. It'll be windy. Take your, oh man, blasted tape here is not cooperating this morning so far. So you'll take your tape, tear you off a piece, and just get it as level with that line as you possibly can, like so. Okay, that's your horizontal plane. And now we're going to work on your vertical plane of reference. And now we got our vertical plane of reference. So now show you guys this a little bit better. So now you've got a T. It's as level as you can possibly get it. And now all that's left to do is shoot. Okay, so now that you've got your T made, your horizontal and vertical lines are level, now what's left to do is shoot. And so today I'm at 30. I'm gonna shoot just for my horizontal reference first, and then my vertical reference. There's no particular order that you have to shoot these in, as long as you end up hitting where you want to aim. So another little tip, when you're sighting your bow, especially if you have new arrows that you haven't been shooting a whole lot before, if you have your arrows, like I have wraps, I don't know if you can see, that are numbered. So like this one's numbered 11. If you don't have numbered wraps, take your Sharpie, number your fletchings, number each arrow 1 through 12 or 1 through 8, however many you have. And that way, if you have one that consistently keeps flying off, you can kind of eliminate it as, 8 shot way left last time. Well, 8 shot way left this time. 8 shot way left the next time, type thing. Okay. Okay, so here we are, 30 yards. I'm going to shoot for my horizontal reference first, make corrections if needed, and then I'll shoot for my vertical reference. So now I fired a couple of shots at my vertical line. So let's go see what the result was downrange. So as you can see from 30 yards, my 2 arrows I shot are shooting about 4 inches low. So we need to make the correction. So you always take the pin to the arrow. So we need to move the 30-yard pin down and we'll reshoot. Okay, so now I've made the changes to my pin. I made the corrections. So I chased the arrow. I was shooting low. I took my pin down. I moved my 30-yard pin down. So now we're gonna fire 2 more and see where we're at. Okay, let's go see where we shot. Okay, so now I've got my elevation pretty well good. I am, happy. Both of those arrows are, if you look straight down, they're about a ½ inch, maybe an inch, just using the uncalibrated eye here, as far as elevation change goes. And as far as the left and right being majorly different, I shot kind of across, I aim center and then I aim to the right type thing, just so I don't hit arrows. So now that we've got our elevation established, now we need to work on our windage. Okay guys, so now that we've got our elevation pretty well where we want it, now you need to worry about your windage. Now, a few key notes to take on windage. So when you're sighting in your bow, try to pick a day that it's not super windy, okay, for starters. 2, if you have a sight like mine where it is, a multiple yardage sight to where you can move it, depending upon what yardage you're wanting to shoot, make sure that you correct your windage from, I will suggest you correct your windage from whatever pin you're using when you're shooting at distance. So like for me, it's my 40-yard pin is the one that I use whenever I start messing with my dial here. So correct your windage from your 40, but for the purposes of this video, I'm gonna shoot from 30 just to kind of give you an idea. Okay, now we're gonna shoot for our windage. Let's go see how we did. So as you can see, we've got 3 arrows on the vertical plane. One is a little bit more centered than the rest. The other 2 are slightly to the left. like I said, if you've got a movable sight like I do, the more important windage marker is going to be the pin that you're using the most. You know, the pin that you're going to be using at distance, rather. That, you know, like for me, it's my 40-yard pin. Then when I set my sight to like 80 yards, I'm using my 40 pin, so on and so forth. So, considering all things, let's shoot a group at one of these targets here, one of these bulls, and we'll see what kind of group we're getting now. So here's my group, a little high, a little left. We'll make some little micro adjustments and bring that down to the center, and we'll be good to go. And there you guys have it. Sighted in at 30, and I am happy with that. Well guys, I hope that you can get some use out of the video that I made. I know sighting in a bow can get frustrating sometimes, but a couple things I wanted to add before I get off here today is remember that sighting in your bow is a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's going to take a lot of arrows. You're going to shoot, you're going to put in a lot of reps sighting in a bow, especially if you are trying to just get it, you know, perfect. Just a couple of key things is, one, from the very start, if you do not have your bow properly set up, that means draw length, a poundage that you can handle for multiple reps, and a good anchor point to start, and form. If you do not have those four things somewhat in check to begin with, you're going to end up having a pretty miserable sight-in time, okay? The next bit of advice that I can give you is to just slow down, take a breath, and take your time. Don't try to rush through sighting in your bow. It's worth taking the time to get your elevation and your windage correct, okay guys? And last but not least, remember to have fun, okay? Whether you are a hunter, whether you are a target archer, or whether you are just picking up this for a hobby, for something to do, remember to have fun and relax, okay? You know, it's a very rewarding hobby. It's a very rewarding skill set to develop when it comes to shooting a bow and just, you know, being proficient with it. A few more little tips, just gee whiz tips, is, you know, when you're sighting in your bow, make sure it's not windy, okay? I understand if you're like me, I live in the great state of Oklahoma, and I use this phrase a lot, that if you don't like hunting or fishing in the wind, then you're probably not going to like hunting or fishing in Oklahoma. Kind of the same way with shooting your bow, okay? If you're going to be shooting outdoors, just try your best to do it, to sight your bow in on a day that's not windy, okay? It can make it painstakingly more difficult than it has to be, okay? The next thing that I can tell you is, once you get that bow sighted in, once you get your pins all where they need to be, you get them gapped, the best thing you can do for yourself is to get out and shoot as much as you can, whenever you can, whether that's indoor, whether that's outdoors. Even if it's like in your garage and you're just drawing back at like 3 or 4 yards and shooting into a blank bell, getting the reps in is key. Getting quality, let me backtrack on that. Getting quality reps in. Do not be afraid to put a camera on you. Do not be afraid to have somebody video you. Do not be afraid to get a friend to come over, and point out, hey, you're doing this or you're doing that, or your anchor point's not consistent. It's worth it in the long run for yourself. And then eventually, if you get to hunting or something like that, I mean, you owe it to the animal. You owe it to that animal to be as proficient at your task as you possibly can be, okay? Anyways, hope some of this helps. If you have any questions, comment down below. I'll do my best to get back at you. And I hope that everybody has a good day, and I hope everybody has some fun shooting. Thank you.